Falcons fans, welcome in. It is episode 52 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons fan cast on Victory Monday, buddy. Joined by my co-host, feels so good to say that. Victory Monday. Joined by
Victory
my
Monday.
co yeah,
Man, I am loving it. I'm always out of my Falcon mind, but I'm really out of my Falcon mind today. Just feel really good after favorable circumstances yesterday, man. I'm happy to
that's
be
right.
here with you guys.
That's right. And that's my co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell, man. Yeah, that was a fun one yesterday. It's some good, a lot of good, and a little bit of questionable, but that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of how we'll take what we can get at this
Yeah.
point. So we're
We'll
good.
take the W.
Absolutely, hell yeah, of course. So, yeah, first of all, man, just want to welcome everybody in. If it's your first time watching, first time listening, welcome to the Out of Your Falcon Mind family. We started about almost a year ago. We got to be approaching the year pretty soon, man.
Almost. Yep.
I'll have to look at that to see when our official 1 year old birthday is. But so basically, we'll do a preview show each week, and we'll do a recap show each week. And obviously, today we're recapping the win over the Seahawks. We try to hit the preview shows Wednesday or Thursday. We try to hit the recap Sunday or Monday, depending on our schedules. And the last week we had Trayshawn on from the New Millennium Falcon
Trey,
podcast.
awesome show.
Great show, awesome dude. If you go back, and that wasn't y'all can go back and listen to it. Yeah, we previewed the game, so obviously that you probably want to need to listen to that part of it. But we did a lot more Falcons talk with Trayshawn, which was awesome. And so you want to go back and see that. Other than that, man, how was your weekend, dude?
Man, it was. I'm gonna be honest, man. This may have been one of the, if not the greatest weekend of the year. I just thought everything went right. Number one, everybody know I watch college now. The University of Maryland offense was rolling, man. I thought they played very well. It was amazing to watch that offense. Y'all got to watch Maryland offense if you missed it. And the Huskies almost beat who was it? Kentucky, where they almost
Um, yeah, might have been.
they rumbled that it was a really good game and they put off on them in the end. But y'all gotta watch Northern Illinois, man, because them boys rumble. And they do lose, but they rumble. They
They
remind me
still
of
lose.
somebody that I know. But I enjoy watching in Illinois, man. They rumble, and the University of Maryland was excellent. Then Sunday, I got my first fantasy win. The Falcons got their first win. My man Matty Ice beat Pat Mahomes. The Bucks lost. The Saints lost. Tom Brady was frustrated. I don't know that it can get any better than my weekend, but it had a blast, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how can you? That's almost. I mean, dude, we had almost the Braves and the Falcons were winning yesterday, like almost at the same exact time. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
yeah. And then Georgia Tech fired their coach, which was it's a good thing if you're a Tech fan
Yeah.
because that's long overdue. That's last few. I mean, it's been ugly, but yeah. So I mean, great day in Atlanta sports. You don't get to say that very often. So it's great
Yeah.
when you can. Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean, man. We watched. I watched all that Maryland Michigan game, and that was.
That was awesome, right?
I was hoping they could pull it out, man. I
The
was so hoping they could pull it
but
out.
like the running back for Michigan though, he couldn't be stopped, man.
No, he was like, dude, yeah,
Yeah.
he's legit. Yeah.
He is legit. But that Maryland offense gonna be with Tua little brother. That
Hmm.
Maryland offense gonna be legit, man. I enjoy watching them, man.
Yeah, I mean he was tearing it up. And they got some solid wide receivers that we're probably going to be
Hmm.
seeing on Sundays one day too. So I mean that was fun to watch. And then Georgia had a little bit of problem with Kent State, which was kind of unsuspected, but they pulled it
Hmm.
out just fine. And then Alabama rolled Vanderbilt, which was fully expected.
Yeah.
They needed to have a game like that. They had a rough kind of start, so I mean they needed to have
Hmm.
just kind of like put everything together, type of deal. Um, and that was fun. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game because it got a little out of hand. So start switching around.
Yeah.
Kansas State upset
I
Oklahoma,
did see that. Yeah.
which
Yep.
was awesome. So I mean, I don't know about you, man. Like, I mean, and then for y'all that don't know, Mike, this is the first year Mike's watched college. Like, he's always just been
Ever.
ever. Yeah, he's always just been an NFL fan, uh, Falcons fan
Yeah. Falcons.
first. But I mean, he'll
Yeah.
watch other NFL stuff. But so this year, he made the decision to start watching college
Mm-hmm.
football, pick a team or two. Maryland, she's from DC, so
Mm-hmm.
Maryland being right there, just happened to turn on the Huskies, Northern Illinois Huskies
I
last
just
week,
So
and
like the Huskies I was just flipping channels and I was like, I need to pick me a team because Georgia was too easy. I'm here and they're already good. And
right,
I flipped and they got a quarterback, his name, if I'm not mistaken, what is it? Rocky Lombardi is their coach. I mean, is their quarterback. He got hurt and then the backup came in and he balled out. So it was all exciting. Everybody was going crazy. So that was the first game I was like, man, I can't take my eyes off this shit. And they was rumbling. I enjoyed the mascot, the uniforms, the crowd was lit. I do like them, but I'm from Maryland, so you know what I'm saying. So I have to go with Maryland too. But I watch those every Saturday now. I look forward to Saturdays. It's so dope.
and dude, when you can, I can't wait till we get to the off season because like all that
Oh
stuff I did with Troy,
yeah,
for the
I'm a
draft,
know now. Yep,
you're gonna be, you're gonna be just as knowledgeable
I can't
as
wait.
yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. And then yeah, I mean, we had baseball yesterday. Man, my ass was up at 6 o'clock on a
Mm,
Sunday, and we got to yeah. Luckily, we played not far. We played about 30 minutes away, so it wasn't terrible.
yeah,
But it was the boys' first tournament of the fall. They did pretty good. They did. First game was shaky. I mean, they lost by a run, and they tied the second game. It's pool play, so you don't really if once you reach your time limit,
hmm.
that's that. So they tied the second game. So they had some good pitching, some timely hitting. So they got like I
You were
said,
able
first
to be home on time for the game, buddy. I was happy for you.
yeah, I got a little bit. I was a little bit late, but I got caught up. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I started late, but I got caught
Yeah.
up. So because I fully anticipated being there longer, so
Hmm.
I was kind of a good and bad thing. Like if we'd have won more, then they could have been
We
there.
stayed. Yeah.
Actually, if we'd have won that second game, we would have stayed. That would have been it. We'd have qualified
Okay.
for the top 3 or 4
Yeah.
teams, but just didn't go our way. But that's okay. I got home, got to see the game mostly on time, so that was fun. Man, around the league though, dude, the Saints losing to the Panthers. Saints
I
probably
watched
just
that one too.
maybe they're just not that good, man.
Jameis was hurt. I would give him all the props in the world. The boy stayed in the game. I thought he was hurt to the point he should have came out. He couldn't even stand on his 2 feet at a point in that game, and that boy stayed in the game,
Yeah,
stayed rumbling. They still lost, but I will give it to Jameis just on a hard thing. But I
yeah.
love to see them lose, man.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean it's almost as much joy as the Falcons win. Like it's up there.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
I'm gonna tell you, it was a few things just around the league that were just awesome. And Aaron Donald got to 100 sacks, buddy. Like we gotta out of your Falcon mind. Like Aaron Donald got to 100 sacks, so we gotta give him a shout out. I just thought these two things were very mind blowing to me. Kyler Murray threw the ball 58 times on Sunday. Josh Allen threw the ball 63 times. I'm like, when I was hearing these numbers, I'm like, God, I thought
dude,
Kyler was
look at
throwing.
that.
And then they said Josh threw, and I said he threw for more 63 times in the game, man.
Did you
If that
see?
don't prove to you how important those two quarterbacks are to their offense, 63 and 58 pass attempts. That's crazy.
Oh, dude, it's insane. And did you see the numbers though from that Bills Dolphins game? I
No.
mean, it's crazy. I mean, Allen threw for
For
400
400, didn't
yards.
he?
Yeah, he threw for 400 yards. They
Yeah.
lost. I mean, they had, and then you got Tua, who number one he got hit. And
Yeah.
I don't know why he came back in the game, but
Yeah.
I think they said it was his back or something that was the issue, not his head. But I don't really trust that. But yeah, Tua only threw for 186 yards.
That's
I mean, like,
crazy.
and they win the game 21-19. Like you would think that if you look at just the stats, if you look at the box score, you would think, oh, okay, but Buffalo
Yeah.
would have won that game. Yeah,
Hmm.
not so much. Yeah, that's not how I see.
63 times. Go job. And I gotta give this before we even get the show going. I gotta get this, man. Since 2008, it's been a guy that you often hear me talk about on our podcast. It's been a guy since 2008. 43 times his team was losing in the final minutes. 43 times he took them down the field for a game winning. Nobody else has done it more since 2008. 43 times. He's earned his nickname. I think they call him
I think
is
he's
it
behind you right
Gold?
now. Is he right behind you?
The dude is right behind me. That is him. It's Matty Ice. Man, he did it with the game he tied. He took him down, but they tied. He did it again yesterday, man. Y'all got to go see Matty Ice. He took him right down, and they actually won that game. I was so proud of him. He's done it 43 times, man. The boy is amazing at that.
Big touchdown to Jelani Woods, who I really liked coming out of Virginia. I liked him a lot. Big tight end. He actually had a couple of touchdowns in that game. But yeah, and it's funny, dude. We talked about it on the preview show. We kind of mentioned it in passing, like, oh, they got the Colts or they got the Chiefs. It's going to be an ugly one this week. What I say though, it's NFL, man. You never know. You can never tell, man. The Browns go and beat the Steelers, who we got coming up this weekend, 29-17.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, man. Chubb's a freaking animal. Vikings beat the Lions. Ravens top the Patriots. Bengals beat the Charlotte Jets. The Commanders, man, looking ugly. 24-8.
So many sacks, man. So many sacks. That's crazy over there.
How about the Jaguars? 38-10.
Man, I'm looking for Christian Kirk is on my fantasy, man. I think we all ruled the Jaguars out, so this is interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be.
And I want to say this: I believe wholeheartedly that your Mr. Jackson over there in Baltimore will be the highest paid player in NFL history, and it'll be fully guaranteed. He gonna ask for something dumb. He is outperforming, like, for this to be his money year where you're trying to get it, he is going crazy, and there's no way that you will be able to tell him no. He gonna throw out a dumb number. It'll be fully guaranteed, and he'll break the record for contracts in the NFL.
Dude, you bet on himself, and you don't you see that in baseball a lot. You'll see, when that's the last year of the contract for a baseball player, and they don't want to, like, they'll hold out and say, you know what, no, I'm going to test free agency and bet on myself. I'm going to have a good year, like Dansby Swanson this year for the Braves, right? We could have signed him long ago. We didn't, but this year he's having the best year of his career.
Yeah,
and he's going to go get paid like a top shortstop next year. Now, you don't see it in football that often because of the injuries, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you see guys want to get, like, dude, if they had to offer me what they offered Lamar,
in
a heartbeut. But I mean,
he really bet on himself.
Bet on himself big time, risking injury and everything, and just balling out, man. Leading the league in touchdowns, I believe. So, and that defense though is what's crazy. That defense is giving up so much yard, which is not typical of the Baltimore defense. But, that's what's going to be interesting there. But Battle of the Goats, man, freaking Aaron Rodgers pulled it out.
Yeah,
and
that was crazy
at the end there.
The Tampa Bay Bucks and the Buffalo Bills both had some blunders in their fourth quarter wrap-ups, man, and they lost themselves the game, just not paying attention and just very silly mistake. It was very Falcon-like.
Yeah, agreed. But I love seeing the Bucks lose too. So
yeah, me too.
Anybody in our division, man, it's always good. I mean, we're kind of 3 games in, but we're not out of the race, man. You can look at it that way.
We are not out of the race after yesterday, buddy.
And then the most boring game ever last night, Broncos 11-10 over.
What's up with Russell, man? I thought he would go over there with their defense, and I thought I was expecting. I don't know what's happening because I don't think he fell off. I just think they don't know this playbook yet. They not blocking. I have no idea what's going on over there. I thought he would be way more successful over there.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, and I thought Jimmy G was going to be a little better considering how he was last year. Last week. But that didn't really work out either. I watched about 3/4 of that, but it was just a boring watch, man. There was not a whole lot to get into. But man,
that'll be a good one. Giants Cowboys. That'll be a good game. Trust me.
Do you watch the Manning cast? Do you watch the Mannings do it, or do you watch the regular broadcast?
I have never seen the one until you brought it up on the last show, and I said I will be watching that tonight. I'll be watching Manning cast. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's probably way better. I love those two guys, and like the regular people suck.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer.
Oh, where did Romo go? Is he not calling?
I think he's still at CBS. A lot of them switched over this year, but I mean, it's I like the Manning brothers, man. Like I never knew Eli had that in him. Like you knew Peyton was silly, with the SNL and stuff like that, but Eli never seemed like he was that guy. But he's funny, man. I like his.
Did you see him dress up? And
What was his name? Jack something. I
Yeah,
forgot.
that was something stupid. That
Yeah,
is hilarious, man. Y'all gotta
Jack
go see it.
Powers or something like that. Chad Powers. That was his
Yeah,
name. Chad
yeah.
Powers.
He had the long hair and the stomach. Man, that's hilarious, man.
Good
Yeah.
name. Yeah, that was funny as hell. If y'all haven't seen that, go watch it. It's on.
Please
I
go
know.
watch it.
I know. It's on YouTube. I think it was on ESPN Plus though.
Yeah.
And did you see the changes to the Pro Bowl that came out today?
I'm very happy with that. I would love to
Yeah.
change. The game was being cheapened. When I was a child, it was like the NBA All-Star game. It was like, oh my God, I cannot believe he's throwing to him and he get the block for him, and you just wanted to see it. And just right now, it just with so many players, like I'm not getting hurt to play in the Pro Bowl. It just they would just let you run by them. They just allow you to catch. It's really no point in it anymore. So I agree with that. One more change I would like to see. Uh, I don't feel like we need that many people in the Hall of Fame. I think it's starting to be cheapened, man. I don't think you should have to put in players every year to to like if
Mm.
you have to stick in like 5 or 6. I don't think you should have to choose 6 or whatever. If they qualify, they qualify. But now it's people up for the Hall of Fame that I love and I think are great players, but not Hall of Fame. There's no way. No, it's just not Hall of Fame. So I think we need to be a little more strict on the Hall of Fame, and I love what they did with the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I honestly, dude, I haven't watched the Pro Bowl in I don't know how many years.
It's
Like,
going now, yeah.
I have no interest in it because, like you said, nobody tackles, nobody.
Hmm.
It's just you might as well make it flag. Like that was basically
Yep.
what it was anyway. So I mean, yeah,
Hmm.
well, why not just go ahead and do it, make it the skills competition, which will be fun to watch.
It
See the
will.
guys
Yep.
being silly with each other, and so that'll be fun to watch for sure. So yeah, but anyway, man, getting on to the game.
Let's go. We won. Out of
How
your
about it, man?
Falcon mind, we won, man. How about it?
How about it? So, just purely looking at the stats, man, it was a fairly even game as far as everything shook down. I mean, we had 386 total yards. They had 420. We possessed the ball for 28 minutes. They were just over 30, almost 32 minutes. What was awesome to see, dude, 2 penalties.
Hmm.
I mean, and we were worried about that going in with just the crowd noise and how that was going to affect.
Yep.
And but man, it's just to only have 2 penalties there. I mean, that was pretty impressive, I would say. I mean, and we'll get to some of the individual performances in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, Mariota was 13 for 20, 229 yards, touchdown. That needless pick before the first half ended, which we'll
Hmm.
get into. Gino, man, 32 for 44, 325 freaking yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So I mean, he's
I'm proud
been
of him. I can't stand that he did that against us, but Slim has been like I'm a big fan of Teddy Bridgewater, and that's all I wanted for Teddy was him to get in an offense, which he had his opportunities. He can run, he can throw. I'm a big fan of Teddy. I wanted him to grow up just like that and be able to throw, be able to run, be able to do all the things that I can see Gino doing now. I just hope he progresses, and that was not just because he played the Falcons. I hope he can continue that. But he's done pretty well, to be honest. And now his throws are really short throws a whole lot of times, but his completion percentage is out of this world. And Slim been playing well. You can't be anything but happy for Geno Smith, man. He come from he
been
been
rough.
dragged. Yeah, he'd had a
Yeah,
rough go at it in the NFL. So I'm really happy for him, man.
yeah. I think Arthur said last week actually that he admires anybody that doesn't give up and that I'm the
Yeah,
same way. Like I mean, if you want it that bad and because he could have easily packed it in
yeah.
after
He playing his best football. Who would have thought that? So that was you got to. He could have easily been. He's a backup, started in backup, and I think he was third string. To see him starting over there and playing well is really good. I just wanted that for Teddy B, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the rushing, obviously, we'll get into it. CP had himself a day,
Mm-hmm.
17 attempts, only 17 attempts, man, 141 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He hit it as long as a 40. Rashard Penny they use a combination of backs too. They used Penny, Dallas, and Walker for the most part, and I mean,
Penny,
unfortunately, they ran
yeah.
hard, they ran
Oh,
good.
they ran is saying the least. Oh, they ran, yes.
Yeah. Reception wise, our boy Pitts. We're in a jersey today. How about it?
Man, I think they
Crazy
heard
what
us,
happens.
Falcon Nation.
It's crazy what happens when you involve like the most dynamic guy on your offense. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
right?
It's
I
crazy.
think they heard. I think on every podcast that's an Atlanta podcast, I think every tweet, every Instagram, we was all saying the same thing, and they heard us because they came out first, very first drive picks.
You
We
know, it's
knew what they
funny.
was doing.
Yeah, like our boy Damsky did a Twitter Spaces this morning, and I finally got to get in on one because every time he does it, like I'm either like at work, or like I'm doing something I can't get on there. I can't
Yeah,
concentrate trying to talk about Falcons and work at the same time. So he did it early this morning, so I was able to get on.
good,
I
good.
was still working, but I was able to
Okay,
get on him, me and Jr. and him and
good.
a few other guys. Got on there and talked about the game, and I didn't get to say as much as I wanted to because again, I had calls coming in Monday mornings, man. I don't know about your
It's
Monday. My
always
morning
yep.
Mondays suck ass. But anyway, I told them, man, it was funny because like first shot downfield to Pitts, and he was targeted like 3 times in the first 4 or 5 plays. It
Yeah,
reminded me so much of Shanahan after we bitched about Roddy not being involved. And
yeah,
like that game, he came out, first three
yep.
plays was to Roddy.
You're right.
And I was
Yep.
like, man, this just smells so much like Shanahan just saying,
Basically, shut up.
right. Y'all want him? Fine. Here it is.
Yeah,
But
yep.
then Adam said, Damsky, though, he was like, but it works. Like, it's not like we're asking to throw to a fourth string tight end. We're asking
And
to
we
use the
won.
best guy in the fucking team.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it won. And then like Daniel Flick, I think or we follow him on Twitter. He said that in the games that Pitts goes for over 80 yards, we're 4-0. I was like, well,
Yeah.
that makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, that'd be a little bit of a correlation going on there.
Even when
But
he because he was really targeted early on, and then it kind of trickled off. But even the fact that you target him early on paid dividends on the back end because they were scared to death. So they was all crap. They were scared to death. So it got other people open. So even you don't. I'm not even saying you got to do it all game, but just the fact you did it early on, the Seahawks were scared the whole rest of the game that they didn't want Kyle to beat them. So that was
dude, he got a
hugely
screen pass
beneficial.
and took off down the field. Like,
Hmm.
and like just simple stuff like that. Like that's what we were saying last week. Like it doesn't have to be something crazy. Just like a screen.
They
Just
was
get him
doing,
the ball in his hands, man, because he can do amazing things once he gets the ball in his hands.
yeah, man. They Cooper cupped him. It was screen passes. He was coming at. They Cooper cupped him, and I loved every moment of it. We won, and that's no surprise. We was
Yep.
all calling for it, and we got it.
Yep. And Drake had 3 receptions, 54 yards, and a touchdown. So he's officially now got more touchdowns than Pitts in his career, which is just
Hmm.
mind blowing still.
Insane.
Um, yeah. Special guy though, man. We'll get into Drake, and
Yeah.
then Tyler Lockett led the Seahawks 9 catches for 76
I
yards.
told y'all on the pregame show
Yeah,
he
he
was the
did.
issue.
Sure did. And AJ looked better, man. He looked like himself yesterday
He did.
against Metcalf. He had one that I think wasn't his fault on the touchdown. I think that kind of I won't get into that. But Metcalf only had 5 catches for 64 yards and a
He
touchdown. But
really he really held him in check for the majority. He was on
mhm.
him, and he contested a few of those throws. He was knocking that ball out of there. I think, boy, that was a hard task. I think he did overall quite well, man.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I got no issue with it. And I mean, he after the game too, he was happy. You could tell like the post game comments like that. He was just happy they closed it out, and that he felt like he played better this week. Which I mean, he seems he holds himself to a pretty high standard anyway. So like he's going to
Yeah,
work.
I think it was his very first good game of the season. So I think but I like I said, I have faith when we going in. Like I tweeted, I'm starting Drake London, Cordell Patterson, Kyle Pitts, and Koo. I knew we would do well. And let me tell you what's crazy is on my fantasy, my two running backs, Cordell Patterson and Nick Chubb. The top two running backs in the NFL are Cordell Patterson and Nick Chubb. How about that? So I love it, buddy.
That was a
Good
pretty
for my
solid.
fantasy points, man.
That was a pretty solid pick. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the players actually, they had a like a team meeting night before or something like that,
Hmm.
and where you basically, I think Richie said they all stood up and just basically said, talked about what they have to do as a team to get where they want to be, and kind of just had like a really open, honest discussion. And they all thought, I mean, all, like the consensus was from all the guys was like it just brought them closer together, made them, just stay honest. It was just an honest conversation about,
Hmm.
where they thought there was probably some, some pretty tough things said, which is
Oh,
good,
I
man.
know.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want you guys to hold them, not only hold themselves accountable, but hold their teammates accountable when they know they should
Mhm.
be maybe performing at the level that they're not, whatever. So, hey, man, all that stuff I love. I mean, that's when you got players doing that, taking it upon themselves to, and only 2 games in too. It's not like we're halfway through the season.
Hmm.
They
And
recognized early that we probably should have won that Saints game, and we
yep,
could have easily won last week if we had been
both of
10
them.
points
Yeah.
more. Yeah. So like,
I'm proud of it, man, because when we talk about culture change, the man, if you would have polled the whole city of Atlanta, like if you had to guess our biggest problem, I think everybody would tell you that it was that we don't close games out. What we famous for is having a lead and blowing it. If you don't believe in a culture change, tell me these ain't 3 straight games where we rumble to the end, if we
Yep.
won or not. These are 3 straight games where we was rumbling to the end and we happened to win the last one. Um, Despite, man, when Marcus, we'll get to it in a minute, but I thought he
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
going to tank us again, man. I was going to find his address. I was done. When you do it to me 3 straight times, I'm finding your address, man,
Dude.
and because we need to have some quiet time. We need a private conversation,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, man. And I
but
mean,
I
just
was
look at.
just we fought to the end and we won one. So that's what I wanted to point out to everybody. I know we did have problems yesterday, but the main thing I took away was not only the defense, but the offense kept rumbling. That's why we won that game.
Yeah, man. Well, it's funny. Jr. said this morning that he's like, man, because somebody else had tweeted about like, man, I must have like some kind of existence because I was fully expecting them to convert that 4th and 18 at the end of the game, and I was surprised when they weren't. When they when
Yeah,
they when they didn't do it, like,
yeah.
and that's what Jr. was saying. It's like, man, I felt that so much because like I'm sitting there thinking, man, as soon as he rolls out, like, oh shoot, here
Mm-hmm.
we go, type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. But yeah, luckily, yeah, like that's huge though. I mean, like for the players, it's like it's not. I think Grady even alluded to it in his post game that what no, we closed it out. It's not a oh here we go again type of thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
big for their confidence to be like it's not going to happen every time. We can
Yep, we
take care
can
of
do it.
business. Yeah.
Yep.
And just looking at the quarter breakdown, man, like as usual, taking notes throughout the game. Um, and I mean, this is, I don't know, man. They came out again, like, I like Pease, man. I love we're going to change his daggone, culture around here. I love all that shit. I don't get starting basically what was a 2-5 look against a team that wants to run.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and they did. They ran. I mean, like it was. I mean, they
Easily.
ran down our throats on that first drive, dude. Like it
Yes.
was just easy. I mean, like
Easy.
Penny wasn't getting touched until 5 yards down into his run.
Man, I thought the first thing I thought about was we had just talked about Emmett Smith and
Hmm.
how he wouldn't be touched till he was 5 yards in. That was the very first thought that came to my mind. I'm like, he isn't getting touched till 5 yards in. It's Rashad Penny, and that's no. Again, I'm not dissing him, but come on, man. Like he getting 5 yards or 6 yards of carry was embarrassing. It was so easy. If y'all look, because I just seen it again. I've watched it twice now, full through. The way they was doing, if they wanted to throw or pass, they was doing what they wanted when the game started. I mean, it was no pushback.
There's two things you knew that they wanted to do going into the game. They want to run the ball better because Pete Carroll said it 1,500 times last week. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be more consistent running the ball. So that's going to be a big thing they're going to do. And Gino's short passing. That's all he's
Mm-hmm.
done in the first 2 games is complete short passing. He doesn't go
Yep.
downfield. And so, and they basically was just allowed to do that the first series, and the first couple of actually they're more than
The
multiple
first few,
series.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I just couldn't. I mean, you don't just randomly throw out that 2-5 or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the hell it was. There's got to be a reason behind it. I just don't know what that is. I'm sure Pease will probably speak on it this week, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say because I
Mm-hmm.
want to know the thought process behind that. Um, but at the end of that drive, though, AJ made a great play on Metcalf in the end zone
Yep.
to keep that
Made the
touchdown from
touchdown.
scoring. Yep, and so they had to settle for a field goal. And then, like we mentioned already, very first play, man, go up top to Pitts. We had him, and I couldn't tell. It looked like Pitts almost wasn't full out, like he almost was trying to
Mm-hmm.
judge the ball, like I don't know. But either way, we missed him on that one. The CP took a big run. And then we went back to Pitts for a first down. And then Pitts went out like he felt like he was going to block, and then he went out,
That was
caught a little
awesome.
pass. Yeah,
Great play call.
yeah, it was a great play call. And then Marcus had an easy run in 7-3. Well, not easy, but he got in there relatively easily. And then Hayward on the next drive, man, Hayward bit pretty hard on play action and got burned
Mm-hmm.
and he got dude. I think it was Will Disley.
Yeah, I love you, Casey. Yeah.
But it happens. So we'll go down 10-7, and then man, we had the next drive, throw it to Oz and Pitts and man coverage goes up and gets it. Which again, man, you see Pitts and man, that's what you gotta do. You gotta throw it up. I mean,
Same with Julio.
Yep, you're gonna go up there and
Give
get
him
it.
the opportunity.
And then Marcus got lit up a little bit, man. Nobody picked up Kobe Bryant on the blitz there, and he got smacked pretty hard in the backfield. But luckily, we had a penalty on that play. Actually, that was a play after that. London had illegal touching, so we ended up Koo had to come back in 10-10. And then start of the second quarter, man, Walker jumps a route after a blown play in the backfield, almost intercepts the ball.
He dropped in.
I mean, like, yeah, he had that, man.
Michael Walker is awesome. I'm gonna say that this dude is to be a young player, man. That dude is getting better every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just the fact he's wearing the green dot this year on the helmet, that tells you all you need to know.
Just that alone tells you his
Yeah.
mind, his mental preparation for they to give him that green dot. That means something. It's same as like a blue check. It means something.
Yep. And that was the 3rd and 5 play that he almost intercepted it, so they had to punt. And then we run the ball pretty well, get some more medium passes to London. Marcus gets sacked, 3rd and 19, completed a huge pass to Oz for the first down, which we don't complete 3rd and longs. And all of a sudden, that's happening. That's great. We hit Pitts across the middle again with 3 dudes literally within 3 yards.
Yep.
I give Marcus props on that one because that was a good throw. And then CP with a huge touchdown run there, 17-10. And then we go back to the Seattle, man. They had a first down right back to they were using their tight ends pretty much all day. And then back to Noah Fant. AJ come up, make a big hit on Walker in the backfield. That's what I love AJ too, man. Not afraid to hit. And he came up, and that was a big stop too, because that was a 3rd
down. Him and Richie Grant will come up and lay your ass out, man. And like they will come up. It's like Sherman and them did. It's like Seahawks when they would come up and the cornerbacks would tackle. And he's his tackling is impeccable, man. He's one of the best tackling corners. He will not miss a tackle.
Yeah,
he's a little dude, but like form and everything. He won't hit you real hard, but like his form and everything, he's gonna make a tackle. Trust me.
Yep. And then they ended up that drive with that. They went up going for it on 4th down, and they completed it to Marquise Goodwin, and they ended up scoring on that drive with a touchdown to Metcalf. And then we went 3 and out in the next position. Just kind of a weird 3 combination of plays I thought that they went with there. But that was really, I had really honestly throughout the whole game, I had really no issue with the play calling. I thought it was.
I didn't either.
Really good. I mean, there's a few just kind of head scratchers, but not like we've had in the past, So I thought that was definitely an improvement. And then after that drive, that's the only we punted once the entire game. That was it.
It's almost like he heard the Out of Your Falcon Mind podcast, man, because he made all the adjustments we asked. Thank you, buddy.
Easy.
Email us at ATL Falcon Fancast Arthur Smith at Gmail, buddy, if you have any more questions for us.
He's probably on there. We need to look at our see if if we have a follower by the name of Andy Smythe or something like that.
Yeah, it's him, buddy. I'm trying to tell you, Andy Smythe. You don't fool us, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, so after that, man, Richie with a big hit on Lockett, which I think also came into play later on in the game when Metcalf dropped the ball over the middle because he was looking for Richie coming at him.
Looking at Richie. So I wanted to say this. I have a note. I said he made several plays, but then I put in parentheses and almost plays. You had to be really paying attention, but he seriously affected a few of the plays where he didn't do anything. His presence affected a few plays where who would have thought that he'll make him stop running? Now that should say something. I've seen him lay people out. He made him. He was looking for that hit, and he tipped a few balls. He was Johnny on the spot yesterday,
Right.
man.
Good
He
picks.
really did affect a few plays that you saw him make. Great tackling, the pick, but he also made a few plays that you didn't even notice if you would rewatch the game. He was
Yeah.
playing awesome.
Yeah. And I think if Rashad doesn't tip that ball prior
Yes.
to the end of the game, I think he jumped that route. He's ready
Yep.
to catch
Yep.
that ball. So I
He
think
had it
that's.
again. Yep.
And I ain't mad at Rashad though, because I mean, like he's making a play. He doesn't know what's going on behind him, so he's trying to get that ball.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
And speaking of him, he is CP on defense.
Oh,
He's the
he's brute,
electricity.
dude.
He's the electricity on defense. Now we needed that because Grady is calm. He's just a calm assassin. But we needed CP on defense, and boy, we got him. We got him in Evans, man. That is the electricity on defense. The man is 100 miles an hour. He's playing his ass off, and he will. If he gets you in his sights, he will take your head off. I love him.
Yeah, and I didn't want to. I wasn't going to bring it up yet, but our boy Troy Anderson, man, flying
Man,
around yesterday.
flying around. I'm gonna tell you, he be flying too fast sometimes. He got to reel it in because he'll
Yeah,
fly past. But Troy Anderson, I told y'all, man, he look good. Don't he? The more and more you give him a chance to play, he just do shit. He
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. I think Damsky brought it up this morning in the spaces that he's still filling out like how where he needs to be as far as the run fits go,
Hmm.
but like so that's fine. He's got time. He's got time to
Yep.
learn that, dude. When you want him to rush, put him out there. Let him rush, man.
Yes.
Six
Yep.
foot four, 240 pounds coming at you at like a fucking freight train, man. And
Full
like that,
speed. Yep.
he reminds me of like Willie Moe back in the day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see
There you
Willie
go.
Moe just come flying
Yep.
up, and all of a sudden the plays go. You know
He
what I
is.
mean?
I'm
But
telling you, he'll run past it. He is full speed. I seen him go. You see him just go past the play a few times, but I love it. He going at full speed. I love Troy Anderson.
yeah, I
So
think
cool.
his ceiling, I think, is just getting higher and
That's what I
higher.
said. I'm gonna tell
And
you, it was just that he can, and we didn't even see him play. It's a running back, really, man, who can throw and play linebacker. This is the ceiling. Who knows, man? Love Troy.
yeah, me too, man. I can't wait to see him get used more and more. And
But
the
you,
fact,
Paul, I gotta give you props again, man. Richie Grant for that. You saw this coming, buddy. Like you saw this coming. He's materializing just as you thought, man. Like he really is turning into him and Walker, man,
man, I'm so glad too
are turning
because
into stars, man, before our eyes.
I'm so glad because, like I said, I saw it come out of college, and I mean, so did a lot of other people, but I mean. And now everybody's going to say, "Nah, I knew he was going to be this way." When
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm waiting on it.
70% of people last year was writing him off,
Yep.
and but those
Everybody was writing him up. Yep.
everybody. I mean, you only had a few folks in there still backing him. Well, he can't
Mm-hmm.
even get on the field. He's not smart enough to get on the field. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
understand the playbook. And Arthur talked about it in his press conference. He said, they asked him about Troy and the amount he's being used more, or the fact that we just seeing young guys used more this year than we did last year. He said, "Yeah, you are." He said, "But there's a way to bring guys along. Like you don't if
Mm-hmm.
you throw guys out there too soon, they can affect them mentally. It can
Yep.
affect them in a lot of different ways." He's like, and he said Richie's playing damn good this year,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, and he is. This is bottom line, man. I mean, he really is, and that's so. But it just goes to show you, like, yeah, he didn't play a lot last year, but he's benefiting from that right now because
Yep.
he was able to sit back, kind of grasp everything, and learn. And then this
Mm-hmm.
year he's putting it all to use, man. So it's just, and
Man.
like you said 100 times, it's the second year anytime it's the first year of change, man. It's just going to be different no matter what. And you
Yep.
throw on top of it being a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
I don't
was
know
just
what
about
you're
to say that
expecting, man.
again. Like, y'all heard me say a million times on this show that the reason I'm out of my Falcon mind is because I don't look at it as just a year. I always see it the way I was seeing it was when you let them play in the year two of any system, it's going to be quicker because you don't have to think. It's going to be unconscious because you don't have to concentrate. And I knew that the players would get better. I don't know who was going to get better, but you see it in Richie Grant, you see it in Hawkins, you see it in all of them. Really, I hate to just brag like that, but I told y'all that we would see, and even the offensive line just getting to play again. Um, I liked the offensive line yesterday, man. I really thought that they allowed a few plays that you want to take back, but overall, what they did for running for CP and for Mariota, there was a few times. He went through all his reads and he just didn't find nobody open. but you saw him go through all the reads, and just that alone, I'm like, damn, he got to look 3 places.
Yep.
I'm not used to seeing that.
Yep. Yeah, I know. And that I like give credit where credit's due. We thought Marcus was going to have a hard time yesterday with the crowd and just him,
Mm-hmm.
getting a little nervous back there. That's just what he does,
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, and he did. Like you were right, he missed some throws that were
Mm-hmm.
kind of open. He overthrew some guys a few times. I mean, that's kind of what he is, though. So I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
and even with all that being said, we're averaging 27 points a game still.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine though?
Crazy.
Can you imagine though that stuff
Yeah.
gets cleaned up, or
When it,
maybe a Twitter that's, but I don't know,
Mhm.
who knows? I'm just saying. Um,
I guys,
yeah,
I'll speak on him a little later in the show, but one thing that did stand out to me that I would like to ask you about Johnny Yates. I was confused, man. Me and you both have been waiting to see Tyler Algier. We
mhm.
was trying to see. We had high hopes for the dude. I was confused, man, because the offensive line played great. Now, just to know that CP and Tyler was running behind the same offensive line, but looked amazingly different every time they touched it.
Yep.
CP looked dynamic and electric, and Tyler he looked flat and dull. Like he was getting probably like a yard or two every time he touched it. Which I was happy he was getting the touches, but he really didn't do too much. He's like he didn't have like the vision that CP had. Man, Sons, what was your take on that? It was mind blowing because I'm thinking that the line is pushing him back, so you got free
Yeah.
range too. He just never took off, man. So
No,
how did you feel about that?
no, I think you kind of nailed it. I think Tyler being young and still kind of new to the position, kind of in a way. I mean, even
Mm-hmm,
because he again converted linebacker in college. Um, he had 6 attempts for 25 yards.
mm-hmm,
Compared to CP, and we were, you have to wonder how that usage is going to be. Can CP hold up for 14 more games?
mm-hmm.
Taking the kind of hits he took yesterday
Yeah,
and being that type of physical runner. I mean, that's I think a reason why. And you probably Bird getting hurt wasn't
mm-hmm,
ideal because he was supposed to be probably your guy that spells Patterson for the most part. But Algier had to step up into that position because he's the next bigger type back.
mm-hmm.
So I think as the season goes on, I think you're going to see similar type of usage of both, but it's going to depend on the health of CP
Yeah,
because as long as he can stay healthy and he's not having anything nagging, yeah, I don't think they're going to. There's a good reason why they didn't use him during the preseason at all.
yeah, yep.
And so I'm glad, because I want him to be as in there as long as he can be all season long,
Mm-hmm.
because he is, man. He's just dynamic. When he gets the ball, man, he's almost at full. It's insane. Like he's
It's
like he's shot out of a fucking cannon.
he's
And
almost at full speed.
his vision is great. And I think that's the
Yep.
thing with Tyler, like you said. I think he's just not. I think he may be a little bit in a hurry. Like like
Yeah,
he's not seeing the holes. He's not
he,
seeing where to cut yet. He just
he
kind
goes
of
straight in the back of the lineman. Yeah, he
exactly
don't wait to see to like, oh, he goes straight in the back of the lineman every time.
exactly. I mean, if you watch some film from him at BYU, like I did in the preseason or in the off
Mm-hmm.
season, I mean, you see him like it's a different league though. That's what I'm saying. You're
Mm-hmm.
talking about you going from Mountain West to I think Mountain West to NFL, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like he has the capability of breaking those runs, but he's
Yeah,
going to have to get there. It's going to
I
take some
just want to
time.
see.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely not down on him. Yeah, I do. There's, I mean, well, yeah, we'll get some more later on CP, but yeah, I think he just needs to get in there, get his touches, and he'll be all right.
Johnny
Um,
Yates keeping the faith in Tyler. I love it, buddy.
yeah, I have to. He was my guy all
He
along.
was your guy. Yep.
I can't lose it now.
Yeah,
Until
mine was
he's off
Corey
the team, I
Anderson.
can't lose it now.
Yeah, you said
So,
Tyler. Yep.
but anyway, on that drive where Richie hit Lockett, man, there was pretty much just short passes all the way down on the field, man. They had good run, and then good play by AJ in the end zone again on 3rd and 3. They
Yep.
had to settle for another Seahawks field goal, and then right before halftime, man, we had 5 seconds, and we were on our own 30. And I thought, okay, we're going to run the ball and just kneel it, And they came out like they were going to kneel, then they switched out of it, and
Mm-hmm.
then Marcus ran. I'm like, well, just don't throw a pick here, and he
Mm-hmm.
throws a pick,
Yeah.
and thank God he was tackled. But
Yeah.
and Arthur even alluded to it. I think I don't know if it was today's press conference or yesterday, but he was like, got a little too cute there before the half. Won't do that again.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what he said. And so like, yeah, you just can't do that shit, man. Like
Yeah.
that's just kneel, go to halftime. Like, just go
Mm-hmm.
to 30. What are you gonna do? You're gonna create a 70-yard pass. I mean, this is
Mm-hmm.
just come on. But anyway, start of the third quarter. We have false starts. This is the only two penalties. We have false starts by Matthews or Gossett. I don't know who they ended up calling it
Mm-hmm.
on third
Jake,
and
I think.
six. Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
And it just killed that drive.
Yeah.
But and then Mariota held the ball. I don't know. He didn't get out of the pocket, fumbled the ball. Thank God, McGarry recovered it, and then
Mm-hmm.
Kuhn held it for 54 yards. So that probably got you some good fantasy points there. At 54 yards.
Right. Yep.
That tied it up 2020. Defense still couldn't stop a damn thing on the next drive. Short passes, running game just kept eating us up. Then when we had to make a stop, 3rd and 2, man, Grady bust through the line, forced a bad throw, and just, I mean, we'll get to Grady in a little bit too,
Yeah. We got to
yeah,
do a whole nother section on Grady. Yeah.
no shit, he could do a whole show on his ass.
Yeah.
And then field goal again by Seattle, 23-20. Then the next drive for us, man, CP broke off that big 30-yard run. Another big run by CP inside the 20, and then Mariota had a design run on second, and it was just didn't work out. He got
Yeah.
hammered, and then he throws to Drake, who spun inside. Dude's holding on to him, and
Mm-hmm.
he drags him into the end zone. 27-23, we go up, and we didn't mention it, but I didn't mention it on that run though, man. I posted it this morning. I said good morning. I don't know if you saw it. I said good morning, Falcons fans, and I said put a smile on your face with this run from CP.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hurdled the dude, then trucks
Yep.
the dude. I'm like, man, that's
Man, he was
I
in
can
red
watch that
zone.
over and over again, man.
Yep.
That's so. Then he gets up and he's telling him, he letting him know too after the play was over.
Yeah.
So,
Man,
which is
man, I've already said this. I don't think, and we've had great Falcons, but I don't think that we've ever had anybody on our team who loved to be a Falcon like he loved. I think he wanted to be a Falcon more than any other player we ever had.
I so hope he retires here, man.
Yeah, me too.
We
I
get
love
more
him.
good years,
Yeah.
and I hope he retires here.
He wants to be an Atlanta Falcon, which is rare. Like he wants to play for us and only us. You
And I
gotta
think
love that.
I think a lot of it's Arthur too, man, because
Yeah,
he's given him an opportunity.
that's his
I
kind
mean,
of guy. Yep.
Yeah, and so anyway, the next drive, man, Metcalf with that big drop where Richie closing in on him. That's when that
Mm-hmm.
happens. Was right after that.
Footsteps. You heard Richie coming.
Yep. And then Lockett caught the first down right in front of AJ, and then Grady won the day. He was winning a lot of his matchup yesterday,
Mhm.
but he got a holding call that probably saved us the game
Yeah.
because they were about to going down, looked like they were going to score,
Mhm.
and he cuts through, got the holding call. Evans tips the ball. And looked like that's the one he looked like he'd messed up. Richie catching the pick.
Yeah.
We made a third down stop, forcing the punt again. At that point, there was about 11 minutes left in the game.
John, wait.
Yeah.
We were stopping them on third down a few
That's
times.
the thing. Yeah.
It was blowing my fucking. I'm so used to third down. Like it's almost guaranteed. Like we made, and then when it was our time on third, like we was getting first downs. It was blowing my mind. Like, but I was proud, man. The third down is really the like the panic stricken one where your palms sweating, where you like, please get us off. And we was getting them off the field a few times, man. I was really enjoying my defense yesterday.
Yeah, man. I think I tweeted last night just general, thoughts from the game, and I was like, as easy as they could move the ball, we made stops when we had to, like a lot of the times.
That's true.
And that's where we
both things can be true. Yes.
It was frustrating as hell, but it was also
it was been but no break.
Yeah, I mean, it was just when it came down to it,
they have 900 yards of total offense, but not that many points. Like you gotta love them.
Yeah, but anyway, we made a third down stop on that. They punt again, and again, like I said, 11 minutes left in the game. We were driving good. This is when CP had that huge hurdle. Yeah, it wasn't the run before. It was this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then that whole drone thing where they had to stop the game, which I thought I was like,
they wanted a different angle of this ass whooping. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. For their records, they wanted this ass whooping from all different angles. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you should have put. I'm gonna put it out there today. You should have put that on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, I should have. Right.
I'll put that out there today. That's great. I'll quote you on it though.
Yeah.
Anyway, after the drone stuff, man, Marcus and Tyler, they go looked like a RPO, and it looked like Tyler took it too quickly,
Whose fault was that, John?
but Mariota took the blame for it in the post game. So
Okay.
he said that was on me, which honestly it may not have been, but he's not going to throw his young
Yeah.
running back under the bus either. So he said that was on him and that he needs to, he thought he could have had the edge, which he honestly looking back he did. There was nobody
Oh,
there. If
he
he'd have
had it.
pulled that out, he was
Yeah.
um, and Seattle recovered, and right then I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me, man.
You tweeted 3 fucking weeks in a row. As soon as he did that, you tweeted like the next second, 3 fucking weeks in a row.
And I mean, y'all have to understand, and as Falcons fans, you should know this, but if me or Mike are tweeting during the game, it's going to be emotional, damn
Yeah,
it. Like
it is
we're not going to have time to gather our thoughts and think about what this is going to look like
right.
2 days from now.
Right, right.
We're talking about it in the moment.
Yeah.
So if it's ever like offensive to you, I'm sorry. I really don't care. Number one, but number two, like it's just you're a Falcons fan. It's in the heat of the moment. We're going to tweet it out.
You should understand.
You should understand, damn it. Anyway, so after that, man, first play, Lorenzo comes through with a huge sack, and he was that bull rush for him was working a lot all day too.
It was,
but it was the fact Gino kept getting that ball out, but he got to him that time. That was huge. And then it drove down the field. Screener run to Penny got called back for a hold, which was a huge play too. And then Grady came through with a giant sack. Just did his first move, man, through the line. He's clubbing people. He's swiping through. I mean, it's fun to watch, man. And then the 4th and 18, we know what happened. Ball got picked by Richie and ball game. So I mean, that was just. I mean, is thank God we won the game, man. Thank God that fumble didn't lead to another freaking loss, man. But
I happen to agree with you, John. I would love to blame him, and I think he was partly to blame. But I'll be honest, what I think had taken place. I think Tyler held on to that ball too long, or he was going to take it. But I don't think Tyler's status on the team, and I don't think he's the type of person who could take that as like a rookie. With the whole thing is if we'd have lost or something. So I think it's on your quarterback, who's the leader of your football team, to be like, I got it. If you saw them as soon as it happened, him went over there and was talking on the side. I think he was probably like, man, let me say, I mean, that was my fault. So I think that is a good leadership to that degree. Is you don't throw him under the bus, like you take it on if it was your fault or not, which he did.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, and that's that's what that's what you expect from your leader, from your quarterback, is he's not going to do that to any teammates, but especially a young guy.
Especially, that's what I said. He's a rookie. He's a young dude. He kind of looked like he was timid and scared on the sideline, like, oh my God, I don't want this on me. And for him to take that off of him, I really appreciate that. I thought that's a small thing that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it did to Tyler as well. Because I mean, they'll talk about it this week. They'll get that kind of stuff cleaned up. So it's not like it's going to be that big a deal. But if
John, I have to ask you, is there anything? 2 things. What on the defensive side of the ball shocked you that you didn't expect? And how about on the offensive side? Is there anything that shocked you? Like, man, we really did this well, or we didn't do something that you wanted us to do?
The coming out in that 2-5 shocked me. I did not expect that one. That's just I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And if we do that this week, we deserve to get our ass beat. Nick Chubb is coming right up.
Yes,
coming right at us, man. So you got to know that. There's no damn reason for us to be setting up in that. But I didn't understand that. Okundeji didn't have a good game, and that was kind of just all around. Like they were running to his side pretty much all day, and he was just not. He just didn't affect the game. And I mean, everybody's allowed to have a bad day. I just think that yesterday wasn't his day. But that was really it, man. I mean, the new guys, the free agents, Casey Hayward, Rashad Evans. I mean, he's fitting in great. I just want to see the guys that should be in there more often, like in there, because there's a clear Anthony Rush not really working out all that well. I thought Taquan Graham next to Grady is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I like Taquan a lot. So those things you just want, but he can't play all game. You got to have somebody to spell him. But
Yeah.
but we've got guys that on the practice squad that need to have some looks. So I mean
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know. I mean Brian Edwards was held out of the game yesterday, and I know this is not defense, but we didn't talk about it, but he was on an inactive list, and Arthur did say it was just because of the matchups, and they felt like some players offered better. They want to get some nothing. They weren't down on
Yeah.
Brian that he's new to the system, blah blah blah. Because he's been he's had one reception, dude. I mean, in the first two games, he's not
Yeah.
been really. I really like that signing too. I thought he was going to be like the number two, clear number
Yeah.
two, and that just hadn't happened yet. But yeah, anyway, defensively, man, yeah, it was just really Oakland Daisy having a bad day was not really good. Um, and the play call, like I said, just how we set up was just not
I'm
conducive
blowing that
to.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't. Like I said, when you're facing a run first team and a team that you know pretty much relies on short passing, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
Um, Mine, what was is still I'm scratching my head over was I think the defense, and this is gonna be weird for me to say, I think they look great and shitty simultaneously. And so I don't um they look like they do stuff at times like that. Oh, that's amazing when you see Grady or you see how they tackle or you see AJ. You see like the linebackers flying around when you see Richie Grant. Um, I love my defense. I think they are crazy, and it's just we're trying to control all the craziness to where we can like aim it right. So
Hmm.
I enjoy them for right now because they younger, they got energy, they big, they strong, they fast. But if they all of those things, then I also dwell on why are they fucking running the ball just like down our throat? Like why are they doing anything? How is Geno Smith tearing us apart like this? And
Yeah,
Penny just going just anytime. So I think if you struggle against Geno Smith and Penny, I don't know what. How can I say that that you look great or you awesome? But they did, and they allowed a whole bunch of points, but they still looked awesome. It's like your Mariota. It blows my mind on the offense because I think he looked good, but he looked terrible at the same time. It was weird that he kind of did some plays where he ran or he threw it, and I'm like, oh damn, that was a hell of a play. But then he do dumb shit that I'd be like, man, I hate this dude, and like just to have these two conflicting. But I think that's what it means to be a Falcon fan
yeah.
because you look amazing and shitty at the same time. I thought our defense looked amazing. I'm a real fan, but they also struggled heavy yesterday. Like them people was doing what they wanted to our defense. And then man, Marcus Mariota again. I'll get to him, but same
Oh, you
thing.
go ahead and get to him. I mean,
I can.
he came up in the spaces this morning too, and it was
Was it positive
a little bit of
or
both. A little bit of both. I mean, I think, and there's some people that think that I'm not really in this camp because 8 or 9 years in, like you kind of are what you are.
Mhm,
I don't expect him to all of a sudden make a huge jump, uh,
mhm.
being able to do things he's never been able to do in his career, like on a consistent basis. Like I don't expect that from him. Like
Yeah.
I think we both said at the beginning, like our bar is really really low,
Mhm.
really for Marcus. So like I just don't want him to lose his games. I don't want him to make dumbass decisions, that type of thing. His mobility has definitely paid off. If we don't have a mobile quarterback back there this year, I mean, there's several plays that would have been negative plays. I mean,
Mhm.
no diss to Matt, but he'd have been sacked several times.
Yep.
So I mean, or any statue quarterback for that
Yeah.
matter. I mean, would have been that way. So um, yeah, we'll see how. I think it's just a week to week thing, man. Like I don't think that because you no matter how well he does, you still got Ritter sitting there that you have to figure out at some
Yep.
point. Like regardless of how the team does,
Mhm.
because I just don't think there's any way Marcus is going to unless we're just. I mean, if we somehow go like 6-2,
Mhm.
sure, leave his ass in there. You know what I mean? But I mean. Barring
Yeah,
that happening, then I mean, I just don't see how he's going to complete the season playing all the games. Like I said, you gotta figure out what you got, like we've said 100 times. But
with
yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
mean, there's folks that are not on that, or they're like, no, man, let's let Ritter sit the entire season and let Marcus play,
yeah,
and let Ritter start maybe next year if he outright wins the job. Like let him compete next year for the job,
mhm.
and if he wins it, then he wins it. And I don't know.
Yeah. I say
I'm
we
not
have to
necessarily
see
there.
him. Like we have to see him this season. So I got a few notes on Marcus Mariota, man. I'm gonna say this. He helped win us the game, but here's why I can't stand the dude, man. I'm not a fan. He misses big open throws. Okay, so it ain't the fact it's just like open throws. He missed big open throws where it could be a touchdown. The dude is breaking free. You have him. I've seen him just overthrow the ball. I mean, it's not close. I hate that. All his throws scare me. So I feel like he's gonna overthrow it like way over the person's head, or he's gonna throw it so high that the person got to stand there and wait on him. A few of our players had to just stand and wait and wait and wait. And I thought, like, man, he gonna get an interception. Like the dude is wild. Like all his throws scare me. Um, it seemed like he struggled with. He can't determine who's coming. Like he really struggled. Like the amount of free hits, so he can't shift the line. Like he doesn't know the cover. He doesn't know what's coming. It's like a rookie's back there. Like
Hmm.
it's wildly frustrating. And the most frustrating, the man has no pocket awareness. So this is what I'm saying. Romo had a move that, if y'all remember, it was the greatest move of any quarterback. He could feel you coming behind him and he would spin. I don't know how the dude would do it, but he perfected. He could feel who was coming and spin at the last moment. But even Rogers, he isn't all that mobile, but he can feel when people are around him. He can feel when the timing is out. He got to throw. To me, man, this dude will sit back there. He don't know. It was a few times where you have to throw the ball where he took a sack. It
Hmm.
was a few times where he didn't feel the guy who was right behind him, and he got hit. And I just like, man, it is like having a rookie quarterback. Like every time I see him, he make rookie mistakes. He don't know things a rookie should know. Um, so I want rid of at this point. I feel like it couldn't be worse. I feel like what we would see is the same thing. He's just as mobile. He can throw just as well. He's even more poised. I don't feel like it would give us the same result or a better result. I don't feel like it could get worse. Like I don't think that Marcus Mariota belongs in the NFL anymore. And I mean, even as a backup, when you
Yikes.
this snap thing with Tyler, that still, man, that still like doesn't take place if you have a better quarterback, because he's gonna, I mean, definitively stick it in your chest, or he's gonna snatch it back, and he didn't do that. So I just don't see, man, he can't handle snaps, he can't shift the coverage, it's people wide open that he don't see, and when he see the person, he can overthrow it at times. He throw interceptions. He don't have pocket awareness. Again, he can't handle the snap. No, I don't think the man is a professional quarterback. I think him and Mayfield should start up a car wash, like a
Ah,
restaurant, a dry
yeah.
cleaning business, or something other than the football, because it's not their thing.
Hot take coming
Hot
straight
take,
from
man.
Mike
These
Terrell,
people do
man.
not belong in the NFL. There are some people who can make it who don't belong there, and there are two people I think who made it that just don't belong in the NFL anymore.
Hey, man. I'm not going to say he shouldn't be in the NFL. I think that I mean, I would prefer Ritter be our quarterback just
Yeah.
because, like, again, like I just want to see, I just want to see him with the ones. I want to see him going against other ones.
Hmm.
I don't. We definitely, of course, not going to see him against Cleveland because Cleveland's front is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett, decent player
Don't
there.
start them against
Um,
Keith. Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, I don't even need to die on Sunday, but yeah, I mean, you hope that those mistakes he made in the first couple of games, even
Hmm.
the RPO issue there, which I think we talked about, still probably on Tyler a little bit, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think those are things that you got to. Those aren't going to happen every game, but they shouldn't
No.
happen every game. But you're right. I mean, the throws, the overthrows, some of the missed things, like you can't do. Like I'm totally with that. Like you can't really have that happening as a starter quarterback
Mhm.
on a consistent basis. So I do think he's best suited as a backup.
Yeah,
It's fine now for us, considering where we're at. But I mean, I certainly don't want to see him as our starting quarterback next year. But I mean,
no, but I'm,
we'll.
but again,
So if we're so I'll ask you, if we're 6-2, are you still taking him out?
it depends on why we 6-2. Here's what I'm saying. It depends on if he had a hand in it. Like I want to see you win us some
Well,
games
there's
with
no way
your,
then he won't.
huh?
He won't be losing this games at that
Yeah,
point.
he won't
It's
be losing us games. I want to see you win us some games. I don't want to see that. Oh man, I just hope. See, here's what I'm saying. I don't want a quarterback where I'm thinking, I hope he just don't fuck this up.
right,
And like a whole lot of times with him, I'm thinking, man, I hope you just don't fuck it up. I hope you just, and I shouldn't. He's the person that I had like the bulk of trust in when it was Ryan.
right.
I knew he wouldn't fuck it up. I'm thinking, I hope somebody else don't fuck it up. To have my quarterback be like, I hope you don't do nothing crazy, or you don't just throw it in the, what I'm saying, triple
Mhm.
coverage, or you don't try to run and instead of sliding, you get hit and lose. He's too problematic. I don't want that in my quarterback. I want a quarterback that if we was down 14, like I don't think he could win us the game. If we was down 7, I don't have him like coming back unless, well, maybe with 7, but I have no faith in him as a quarterback. I think he's like a bumbling fool, and I don't want him as my. I don't even think he should be on the team. I'm not being funny. Like I don't like the man. Like I don't.
Obviously,
He come.
it's obviously.
Yeah, because I don't like him as a person now. Like I'm be honest, I
Oh,
enjoy
come
what he
on,
did.
he's a
No,
good
because
person. He's a good
no,
guy.
no, I'm just playing. No, but like I just don't like anything about him. I'm sure I would, if I saw his car, I would hate his car.
Oh,
Probably hate how he dressed. Like I
jeez.
don't like his food choice. I don't like him.
His
But
his
again, I think he would be a good backup. One thing I will say is what John said. When the play break down, it is a breath of fresh air that our guy could take off running. Because
yeah,
man, Matty Ice would just slide down and just
right.
it'll
Or
be over.
or like those last few years, he's seeing ghosts. I mean, and he's going down before he needs to
Yeah,
because
he going down before he even get
he's just
hit. So
anticipating he's going to get hit. Yeah.
I do enjoy the fact that I think he's great at improvising. But again, I just see panic every time I see him. Half the throws that he throws, I'm just like, there's just panic.
Well,
So if he can start targeting some throws where I say, "Oh, that was a damn good throw," he don't really do a lot of it. I'm thinking he did it like an average throw, and the man went up and got it. If I see him like with great throws and him with clutch moments and poised throws, I will give the man props and say, "Yeah, I want him to start." But for now, really, to be honest, I think he's kept us in the games, but he's also, tried to fuck it up per
yeah.
game.
And like I said earlier, man, 27 points a game, even with all
Yeah, with
the
all that.
bullshit. So I
So
mean,
if he clean it
that,
up, who knows what
right,
the ceiling is? Yeah.
right. That's the big if right there. So I mean, and like you said, I mean, he's kind of been known for his entire career. Like he will sometimes scramble before he needs to, or he'll break
Yeah,
out of the pocket before he needs to because
he's doing that
he
a
feels
lot.
rushed and he goes. And then like yesterday, he didn't for some reason. He kind of hung in there a couple of times too
Hmm.
long and got hit. So like there's nothing that you said that's not justified. You know what I mean? Like so, it's not like he's you can see it. All you gotta do is watch and just see like, yeah, he's not perfect. He's far
Yeah.
from it. But uh,
Like John said, I just think you have to see what it is with dude. I just think, and now it could be worse because you're a rookie. It could be the same. It could be better, but you at least have to go see. I mean,
and you
before
gotta
the next
go
year.
ahead. Yeah, and I think with Arthur too, I think he knows that as well. And I think you got to be careful with a rookie quarterback, especially someone like this that like we did the poll, 78% of people want to see now.
Hmm.
So if he comes in and shits the bed the first game, then what?
Yeah,
And then like
and that could
everybody's
happen. It's a rookie.
it could, and it could, and he may have a rough start or whatever. Like it's almost he's in a no-win situation because if he
Yeah,
comes in and I mean he does well for 2 games or does well for a game and has a bad game, like people are going to jump the gun real quick and
Yep.
say like, ah, he's not the guy. He's not the guy.
Yep.
We thought he was the guy. Like there's that. We talked about it on Overrated a few weeks ago. Like the whole judging off of one performance too
Mm-hmm.
far. People will just take that one performance and it doesn't have to be whether it's good or bad, and
Mm-hmm.
just overreact and think like, yes, like either it's a great performance and that's our guy
Yep.
forever, or he's terrible and then we got to draft the quarterback next year. Like so,
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's no room for
And
just being
our
like being
fans will
able.
do that.
Right. Yeah, and it's just like he's got to have room to grow. I mean, he's not going to step in and just be. If he is, then he's one of the like we're talking like 2% of the guys that step in and
Yeah.
it's just like the guy, So
So
yeah,
I don't
Marcus.
know how you introduce him because I think you have to see, but again, I don't know how you introduce him because you can't start him and then pull him back out. I would
Right.
assume if he was the starter, he would be the starter for like the rest of the season. But then you don't cut like even me. I don't cut man Marcus's his whole thing short now in 3 games. I think you don't do that either. So now I wouldn't know what to say about that because I don't.
I think last week when I think what Trayshawn said, what Cincinnati or Carolina would be like
Yeah,
kind of
I
obvious
know. Yeah.
games, depending
Yep.
on whether or not that what our record is, and but like those two games would make sense because
Yeah.
Cincinnati he's back home, sort of. I know it's an away game, but he's home, and
That'd be cool.
yeah, but then Atlanta the very next week we're home against
Hmm.
the Panthers, So um, I don't know. It's just going to be it'll be interesting to see how it materializes because I mean Arthur's going to have a tough decision to make at some point.
He does. Yeah,
So
he has
yeah,
a tough decision.
and
Yeah, but
we mentioned the O line earlier. Man, they had a good game. I mean, for the most part, and Colby Gossett filling in for
mhm.
Wyatt Wilkinson, who by the way,
Yep.
Wilkinson Arthur did say that Wilkinson's back this week and should be in there, but Gossett, I mean, dude, we didn't call his name a whole lot.
Mhm. And
So I
he
mean,
had a pocket. He had a pocket a few times. Like again, he doesn't have he doesn't he couldn't feel the pressure. But it was times that I saw him drop back. He got to go through all progressions.
mhm.
I saw him looking around and just, man, that's a beautiful sight. I don't care if he made the play or not. Just the fact that you got to bounce around. But I haven't seen a quarterback that played for Atlanta, man, in the pocket just bouncing around in a quite a long time. He got to look left to turn right, then look back. Then I haven't seen that in a long time. So I thought those boys played great, and the run blocking
Yeah.
was superb, man.
Yeah, and Mary, I mean, and for Marcus to be the guy that's back there going through like that's not he's normally a one two read type guy and
Yeah,
then
yep.
figure it out. But he
Yeah,
was yeah, it was impressive to watch.
he had time.
Um, for those of you that care about PFF grades, the top five on offense. This is courtesy of Evan Birchfield at the Falcoholic. Uh, no, not really a surprise. Kyle Pitts number one with 93.2, Chris Lindstrom 90.4. CP 81, Drake London 78, and Oz Zacchaeus at 78. And then top five on defense. Shouldn't surprise anyone. The top one's Richie Grant, 86.4. Grady Jarrett, 79.7. Mike Ford, 78.3. Taquan Graham, 77. And Rashawn Evans, 76. So
And we gotta say,
take those for what you will.
Zacchaeus is so reliable, man. The boy just don't drop passes. He don't get targeted that much, but every time he is, the ball is caught. I
Yep.
love that dude. Like he's like my Harry Douglas.
That's a good, yep. I was
He's
going
my
to
Harry
say,
Douglas, and I loved Harry Douglas, man. So I love Zacchaeus. They the same thing, but he go across that middle, go flying in the traffic. The boy brave, confident, everything. I love Zacchaeus.
yeah, I got no problem with him at all. And I mean, I'm just glad that we targeted. And it's funny, Arthur said that the targets were really about the same for Pitts. I don't believe that for a second.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said that they were, and they asked Pitts after the game, and what changed this week, and he said that about the ball found me. So,
Yeah. Okay. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Good one.
so yeah. However, he meant that is fine, but yeah. So I mean, it was just nice to see him target our playmakers and not necessarily Hodge and Zacchaeus and
Hmm.
fucking Parker Hesse and stuff like that. Like,
Hmm.
it's just good to see those guys get work, and Pretty cool little thread here. The Falcoholic got to give a shout out to Dave. Which, by the way, y'all go follow the Falcoholic if you're not. I mean,
quote from Choke.
Yep, he random stats and notes from the game yesterday. The Falcons are sitting at 7 sacks on the season, on pace for about 40 sacks on the year. Now, I remember, I think on that show, I think with Dave, I think one of my in or out was we would get, what did I say, over 30?
Yeah, 30. Yeah,
I think I said 30. Everybody was out.
and we all out like, no, yeah, we will clear 30 going away. It appears, it looks like.
If we continue on the pace, yep. And
I think we will.
they had 18 a year ago, as you've heard mentioned. And even if they don't finish with 40, they'll probably blow by 18 by midseason, which is that's a hell of an improvement. The last time a Falcons running back finished with over 140 yards on the ground was 2018. Tevin Coleman piled up 145 yards on 11 carries against the Cardinals. Patterson's 141 was a career high, and he's second NFL in rushing yards. Drake London is on pace to break every major rookie receiving mark for the Falcons. At current pace, would finish with over 90 catches and 1,141 yards and 11 touchdowns. Rookie records are 68 for 1,026 yards, Pitts in 2021, and 9 touchdowns. Junior Miller, way back in 1980, before our birth, buddy. Mariota is the fourth in the NFL in intended air yards per attempt and completed air yards per attempt. And his average throw is traveling almost 3 yards further through the air than it did during his Tennessee days, for whatever that's worth. And then finally, it's hard not to be hopeful about what this team will look like when they clean up some of the persistent mistakes. They're fourth in the NFL in defensive penalty yardage and fourth in the league in percentage of drives ending in a turnover. So that says a lot too. You clean those two stats up, then I mean.
Now that's a quote from Choke. Now when you hear from him, you know it's real, man. I will say this, man. Here's my takeaway from the game as a whole. I was fucking through the roof yesterday. You couldn't have told me we didn't hit the Super. We wasn't in the Super Bowl. I was in here, and it was a good game. And we battled. I'm gonna tell you this again. I love my defense. Just the fact we getting sacks. I love my line, but it could be because I know
I think you know the potential of the individual players.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking it's that, John, because I never. But just because, here's what I'm saying. If I don't study Troy Anderson, I just know he's new. Then his little 2-3 plays that he does good is a small deal to me. Because I know better. I look at what he's doing. I'm saying, oh, that's Troy Anderson and it's Richie Grant. These people we talked about. So the game is much more exciting when I'm seeing Hawkins doing shit and Evans doing. Now I know what's going on a whole lot better. So I'm way more excited, and I just love my defense, man. How they play gritty, how they come up and hit, how they will knock the ball out your hand. It's all shit you don't see from. They'll punch the ball out, strip the ball. They tough. They flying to that ball. We tipping passes. We getting sacks. I love my defense. I haven't seen this in quite a long time. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I love my offensive line, man. I wanted them to improve. They've improved much better than when Matt Ryan was here. It's sad that he had to go for them to jump up like this. I love my offensive line. You know I love my running back. That dude is I don't know how old he is, but I know he ain't a young dude. For him to still be doing this is ridiculous, man. He is electricity in a bottle. He does this every time. You just keep giving. I bet it's a stat somewhere that says when he get like 20 plus that we win or some shit like that. I can guarantee you. I love my receivers.
I think I lost Mike. Can you hear me, buddy? Yeah, Mike is frozen on my screen.
My quarterback to be the
one
that panics. He's what?
You were frozen on my screen without saying a word, but now I hear you and you're back.
I was frozen on my screen too. I kept going because the show. No, so I was just saying that I love every part about it, man. The receivers, I don't think anybody can check Kyle. Drake, I had no faith in before the season started. It's looking like a problem. I love Zacchaeus. Again, man, I still love Tyler. I want to see what Tyler do. The only problem I'm having is my quarterback because I don't feel like I have a quarterback that I can count on. So, but that's it. And I love Desmond Ritter. I loved him in the pre, so I can't wait to see him. So overall, man, and I think the coaching is improving gradually because we've been hard on them. You know, I love
Yeah,
my kicker. He won't miss, even though he did the other week. He won't
yeah,
miss. I'm loving my team right now. And you got to think, we almost beat the Super Bowl champs. We went into Seattle and kicked their ass, and we almost won the first game against the Saints. You're not telling me we can't at least compete with the best in the NFL. And I'm said the best in the NFL. I said compete with them. We played the Super Bowl champs. We went into Seattle, which was damn near impossible, and we improved from all that we did when we played the Rams. We heard all the noise, all them penalties we had, and all them fuck ups. Tell me we didn't clean that up. If
yeah,
y'all not proud of y'all team, you see I'm in the hat and jersey. Look at John in the hat and jersey. We are fully decked out on a Monday today in full gear, as if I just watched the game again. Yeah, I don't care if I did the podcast today. I was gonna watch that game again anyway. I might watch it a third time when we get off. It's great. It's a great Monday, man. I'm really happy with the team. If y'all not excited, look at what we doing. And I'm not saying I understand it was Geno Smith, but we went to Seattle and kicked their ass. That's big. Man, we almost beat the Saints. That's big. If it wasn't for some wildness, we would have won.
yeah,
We almost beat the Super Bowl champs. That's big with Aaron Donald. We almost won. It took the last play of the game. We almost won, man. So if y'all not excited, I don't know what y'all looking at. I'm loving. I'm out of my Falcon mind right now. I love every bit, and even Marcus, man. I know I'm hard on him, but he saved a lot of plays with him taking off.
yeah,
I'm fucking in heaven watching this team, man. I can, and I expect them to improve every week because if
yeah.
I'm being honest, and I know I'm out of my Falcon mind, but they get better every week. All right, so we might lose or win, but I've seen improvement every week. I expect that to continue against Cleveland and expect us to win.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, you said it perfectly. I mean, just to go into Seattle, like you said, I don't care. It's Gino, man. It's Seattle. It's a tough
Yeah,
place to play, no
Seattle.
matter who's playing quarterback.
Yep.
Um, and we went up there and got the win, dude. Defense. I think, like you were talking about with the players, it's like, and I hate I'm not going to crap on peas at all, but I think you love the players, and maybe they're not being in position that they need to be
Maybe
more
that's it.
successful.
Yeah.
Like, and because you know, I do think, when he said they were going to change the culture, I do think that there's a more aggressive mentality to defense. I don't think
Yes.
you just know you can deny that. That with the guys, just watching them play. So there's that mentality there. Now we just have to put it together with the right packages. For me,
Hmm.
like
Good point.
stop with some of those 2-5 or the soft
Hmm.
zone type of looks. Like let's come on, let's put them in position to be successful. 9% of the time. I mean, I know you're gonna have to spell guys for rest. That's going to happen.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited, dude. I mean, there's nothing like you said. I mean, not having full faith in Marcus is the only thing that I can really point to.
Hmm.
The offensive line has showed up in every game for the most part. I give them a little bit of a pass going against the Rams front. They're going to be
Me too.
challenged. This week's going to be the biggest challenge for them, I think, man. Miles
Yeah.
Garrett and that defensive front for the Browns is
Hmm.
going to be tough. And just like, I mean, it's going to be a challenge for our defense trying to hold down Chubb. And we'll talk about the Browns more of this later in the week when we do the preview show for this week matchup. But yeah, I mean, man, I don't know how you come out of yesterday just not be excited. And then CP, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do my underrated, and it's CP, man. It's Cordell
You
freaking
did.
Patterson. So because I
I
mean,
love it. I love it,
I'm
buddy.
just jumping the gun because I mean, he's so dynamic, man. Like it makes me wonder, like what he could have been if he'd have been utilized this way earlier in his career. And
Yeah. Yep.
maybe he didn't, maybe he wasn't showing that in those practices or in those
Hmm.
time with those different teams. But I mean, and I think I said earlier, I think that's why one of the reasons he loves Atlanta is Arthur giving the opportunity. Like, I don't know how you see this guy run and not give him an opportunity.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
you know, like, because he was primarily a returner, man. Like, so,
Hmm.
like, that's fine and all, or like a gimmicky type of offensive
Yep.
weapon. That wasn't really
A
part of
trick
the,
play.
right, it
Yep.
wasn't really part of the offensive scheme. But you see how he can affect a game, man, by like a 6'2", 220-pound guy who can run like that and make moves like that. I mean, I just think I hope he just keeps on this, because I think people around the league kind of noticed last year, like, damn, we have to account for him every game. Like, the way they're
Hmm.
using him is something. And now this year, now, you know, with Pitts maturing some more, and you got London now, other weapons. I hope he just continues this ridiculous year, and people are just like, he just gets all the love in the world from the entire league, because I think that's what, you know, he has the capability of doing. And he's up. Y'all go vote. He's up for the FedEx Ground Player of the
Yeah.
Week. So go ahead.
I
He needs
agree,
needs
John,
that.
because here, like, I think that, man, like, we all can see that he's awesome, man. We all know he's awesome. But I think, man, nationwide, I think he is underrated. I don't think he's viewed as a oh my god threat in the league, when he can do everything. Like John said earlier, I don't even know how you hit the hole at full speed when you just got the ball. I think that has to you have to have been a returner that you
Mhm.
just know how to do that. He don't have to get started. He's at full speed when he first go into the hole. Uh, Two, he inflicts the pain when you try to tackle. He inflicts the blow, which
Oh
is
yeah.
I love it. And then third, he just electricity, man. What he brings to our offense, man, he get the fans hype, he get the defense hype, he get the offense right. He is the spark plug for the team. So you gotta love him, CP.
Yeah, man. What's your underrated, overrated?
My underrated is also Falcons. It's not, but I got three Falcons that I just wanted to shout out because I feel like we overlook them a lot of times. We hardly never brought them up on the show, and I really think these are underrated Falcons that you should know about. Ray Buchanan, okay, Brent
Big play,
Grimes,
Ray.
yeah, Ray Buchanan,
Brent
Brent Grimes,
Grimes.
and Keith
Wow.
Brooken. You know, three dudes from off of our defense, who played at in different times, but who I thought were really good players. The
Yeah.
swag that Ray had was hilarious. Brent Grimes was really solid, and
Yeah.
Keith Brooken was a dog, man.
The ups that Brent Grimes had, man.
Oh
Like,
my! I mean, this dude was little, and if you lobbed it up, he would jump up and take it from anybody. I mean, anybody. He would jump straight up vertical and just. Brent Grimes was awesome, and Keith Brooken was,
tackling machine, man.
I mean, just from sideline to sideline, man. He was an animal, and we don't get talked about them because they weren't like great, I wouldn't say, but they were really, really good Atlanta Falcons that we couldn't have been as successful if we didn't have them. So shout out to those three.
Yeah, I have a very random underrated um, jalapeno
Okay.
Fritos.
Huh?
Jalapeno Fritos.
Now is that I don't even like spicy stuff. Is that like killer spicy?
No, it's just got a little bit of burn, like not at all even killer
Okay.
spicy, but like I had Amanda fixed some chili last week. You know, we
Okay.
normally put some chili and the cheese on the Fritos. And I saw that in Publix. I'm like, damn, 'cause I like spicy shit.
Yeah,
So, man, I could eat a bag of those things, dude.
it was
Like,
good.
just I could just sit down and eat a whole bag. Like, that was so damn good. So,
Yeah.
if y'all ever had spicy, or if you like how that type of stuff, man, check out those jalapeno Fritos. That's some good
Jalapeno.
stuff.
Now, is that new or it was already
I don't
out?
know, dude. That just happens. I never go down that aisle. Like, I'm not being a
Okay.
dick, but like, I never go down like that snack aisle, because I try not
Yeah.
to like.
Hey, me neither. I swear to
I,
God, I don't even go down there out.
I
Yeah.
try not, because I would just, oh, those look good. That looks good. You
Yeah.
know, like, it's just better not to have it in the house. But
Mhm.
for chili, you got to have like some Fritos or something in there. Like, I guess you could eat it plain, but yeah, yeah, man, those are good,
So
man.
hold on, because I just have to pin a tag to that. So John just told y'all a very good strategy. If you fat, or even if you're not fat and you trying to lose weight, I'm gonna tell you what helps because I'm skinny, but I'm just trying to tell you what helps is so just say you love a snack. It's a snack that you personally like. The key is to not have it in the house because a lot of time you won't be like it's not so craving that you want to. I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna get dressed, go start the car, then drive to the store to get it. It's not that serious. But if you have it in the house, you will eat 12 of them.
Yep.
So just don't have it in the house. Whatever you have in the house is being eaten. So just know that if you don't buy it, I really doubt you will get in your car and go get it. So it may help you lose weight, just not buy it from the grocery store.
Man, I heard a long time ago that if you stick to the outside rule, you go in the grocery store and you just stay on the outsides. You got
Yeah, that's hilarious.
the meats, the fruits, the
The fruits, the vegetables.
veggies, the
Yeah, yep,
dairy. Like you get what you need right there. But
yep.
you go attack that middle,
I'm telling
you're gonna
you.
be in some trouble, man.
Yeah,
You'll
you're gonna
find
be in
all the
some.
sugary
Yeah,
shit. Yeah, all the soft drinks and stuff
yeah.
like that. So
But
yeah,
yeah, just a
but
helpful hint from out of your Falcon Mind Health Department.
damn right.
John, do you have overrated?
I just came underrated this week, man. I'm gonna shoot for overrated next week. I gotta add
I'm
two
gonna do
underrated.
overrated. I got one. I had to do this, man. I'm sorry, man, but what is overrated is Kanye West's sense of style. Now I don't know how y'all crowning this man as a fashion icon. This man dressed like Missy Elliott. Okay, he dressed like Missy Elliott. He dressed like the last character who you got to fight on a video game, bro. You dressed like a he dressed like a Black Power Ranger. You know, he dressed like everything he wear. He just looked like he have on trash bags and sandals, like he got on rain boots at the fashion week. Man, this man cannot dress. He looked like Missy Elliott. He dressed like Missy Elliott. I'm not a fan of his shoes, his clothes, or anything else. Uh, Red is really overrated. Kanye West sense of style. If y'all think that man is a fashion icon, I would encourage you to look around at some other people, man, who can dress a little bit better. Come on, man. Nate Burleson, man, can dress, okay?
Man,
Kanye West is not the standard for dressing. I'm sorry.
the majority of the that type of shit, like the mainstream type of like fashion, I
It
don't understand any of it.
is with man, if you see a fashion show, it is the most it's shit that you would never catch some person on the street wearing. It'll be
No,
something he dressed like a cheeseburger or fucking McMuffin from McDonald's, and it's like cow print shoes, and it just be ridiculous. But I know he is a weird dressing person, man. He'll wear and Antonio Brown is a weird dressing person. I don't know what be on these dudes' minds, but they can't dress, man. They dress real feminine and real over the top and real, but they look like beautiful young ladies. I can't get with it.
yeah. Have you seen the shoes, the Yeezys, the
Yeah,
New
I
ones?
hate it. I don't know
I
how
don't
they
even.
go.
I
I don't.
don't.
That's a
Yeah,
hideous shoe, and they go for like 200, 300. I have no understanding of how y'all letting this man design anything. He can't dress himself. He just. Have you ever seen a picture of him where you thought, "Oh my God, he was killing it in this picture"? Like,
yeah.
no, not Kanye West being a fashion icon. I can't do it.
That's great. Well, I will have some solid overrated next week.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
But that's all I had, man. I was happy with my team. I'm so happy, man. We got our first victory, buddy. 1-3. No,
yep.
1-2, buddy.
1-2, yeah, and we'll like I said, we'll be back, guys, on either Wednesday or Thursday night to talk about the upcoming game with the Browns on Saturday, which will be back home. So hopefully we have just as many folks that we had at the Saints game, because that was a nice crowd that we had there. It was
Yep.
loud, so I'm hoping it's the same thing because, I mean, the team feeds off of it. So
Yeah. We
it's
need.
great to have, yeah. It's nice to have a bunch of folks in there. And anyway, guys, if y'all again, if you're watching us, we look different because we're on StreamYard through our new. We're on Variety Sports Network as of last week. It's our second show now on the network, so we're gonna. This is obviously not live, but we're gonna be doing some live streams. We might even live stream the preview show. So
Yeah.
we'll if we can set up a time, we'll try to do that. We'll do it. Try to do it on Twitter, YouTube, and get it out there. And we're still going to put it on a podcast. So, if you guys can't catch us live, we're going to have it on the podcast regardless. So you can always catch it there or on YouTube after the fact. So either way, but yeah, you
We
guys.
coming up in the world, man. We coming up.
That's right. Make sure y'all go follow Variety Sports Network on Twitter as well. They have, like I said last week, man, if you're fans of other teams, other sports, go in there and check out which podcasts are on there because there's some really good ones in there. guys just like us that love their teams and want to start a podcast and are doing pretty well with it. So go check them out. Give them some support give them some support as well. But you guys, like, you can see, if you're watching, you can see it on the ticker the entire time you've been watching. You can follow us at Out of Your Effing Mind on Twitter. You can email us at atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. You can email us anything you want, show ideas, comments. Oh, which, by the way, Mike, you can. We did have a comment on our YouTube video, and it was your question to all of our guests about which former Falcon would you add to this team.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm done. Okay,
you are done here, because this is one we have not got. This is an answer we have never received, and this is from, let me find it, man. JoJo96 said, a Falcon player at the peak of his talent. Give me 2016 Matty Ice.
Oh, nobody said Matty. Joe, you the man, buddy. Joe 96.
I knew you'd love it.
Nobody said Matty Ice. You got it. 96 Matty Ice. I love. Hey.
2016 Matty Ice.
Huh?
2016 Matty Ice.
2016 Matty Ice. Hey, man, I love it, buddy, because we would imagine what we would be doing with him right now at quarterback. Nobody ever said that, Joe. I enjoy that, buddy. I really like it. Yeah. Damn, Matty Ice. That's a good way to go. Hey, y'all, we got a ticker at the bottom. If y'all don't think we came up, it's a ticker under me right now. I see it moving. It says, follow us at Out of Your Effing Mind on Twitter. Come on, man. It's a ticker at the bottom of the screen moving while I'm talking. I'm officially a YouTube star or something. So smash up the likes. And I don't know what they say. Smash up the likes and
no. I think it's like and smash the subscribe button.
Smash the subscribe button and like the video. I know that's what you're supposed to say on YouTube.
There it is. Yep. And yeah, man. So yeah, y'all, look, very much appreciate y'all listening and watching as usual. We would not keep doing this if y'all weren't doing it, interacting with us. So again, we cannot thank you guys enough for that. If you're listening to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, drop us a 5-star review if you could be so kind to do so. If you write us some words on iTunes, we will shout you out as soon as I see those words pop up on our end. And on Spotify, you just gotta click the 5 stars. That's it. Like I said, if it's YouTube, and you're here, you're watching us, just click subscribe, because you're here anyway. You might as well. We're not gonna bother you. We're just gonna those little notifications will pop up. Whatever we do in the show, you're just gonna see a little notification pop up that says we did one, and you can come watch us. That's it. So we appreciate you guys, and we will be back later on this week. Much love, dudes. Y'all have a great week. Mike?
Come check out our ticker on YouTube. It's yes, astonishing. Somebody said Matty Ice, which I love you, Joe. And we got a W. And Matt Ryan, another 2-minute drill, buddy. We got to love you. Go Falcon fans. We rose up. We went into Seattle and kicked their ass. Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.
We out, guys.